All right, let's talk about a word that can feel, well, a little intimidating: creativity. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you that it's not some kind of magic you're either born with or not. It's a practical skill, a skill that you, me, and absolutely everyone can build. You know that phrase, right? We need to think outside the box. We've all been there. You're in a meeting, you're in a class, someone says it, and everyone just kind of nods along. But it's so vague. I mean, where even is the box, and how do you get out of it? Let's try to get a much clearer roadmap. So, the first and probably most important thing we need to do is understand that creativity isn't just one big concept. It's actually the first half of a two-step process. We have to separate the act of thinking of an idea from the act of making that idea a reality. So let's get a super clear definition on the table. Creativity is simply the generation of new and useful ideas. And the keywords there are new and useful. This is the thinking part of the equation. For example, picture a group of students brainstorming how to shorten that crazy long line at the campus cafeteria, coming up with ideas, like a pre-order form, or maybe a separate counter for quick snacks. That whole brainstorming session, that is creativity in its purest form.
So what happens next? Well, that's where innovation comes in. Innovation is the successful implementation of one of those creative ideas. This is the doing part. So, if the university actually goes ahead and builds a QR code system for pre-orders, and, get this, it actually cuts the wait time by 40%, that is innovation. When you put them side by side like this, it becomes so clear, doesn't it? Creativity is all about the thinking, exploring what's possible, just suggesting the idea. But innovation is about the doing, about getting real, measurable results, and actually launching that idea out into the world. You could say one is the spark, and the other is the fire. You need both, but they are definitely not the same thing. Look, if you remember one thing from this first section, let it be this. It's so simple. Creativity is when you think it. Innovation is when you make it happen. From that light bulb moment all the way to the rocket launch. It's a simple idea, but it is powerful. Okay, so if creativity is really just about generating ideas, why do so many of us feel stuck? Why do we feel blocked? Well, a lot of the time, it's because we've bought into some really common and really unhelpful myths about what it takes to be creative. So let's bust them. Let's just tear these down one by one. Myth 1. Only talented people are creative. The reality? It's a skill you can train, just like learning an instrument. Myth 2. Creativity is only for artists. Absolutely not. It is critical in business, in HR, and engineering. Think about creatively designing a better workflow. That's a practical, creative act. Myth 3. Creative people are always extroverts. Nope. So many quiet, introverted people are incredibly creative. And finally, this idea that creativity only means crazy ideas. Not true. The best ideas aren't just unique, they're also useful and feasible. So once we strip away all that baggage, all those myths, we're left with a really empowering truth. Creativity isn't something you're born with or without. It is something that you can actively build. Let's just let this sink in for a moment. Creativity is a skill, not a talent. It can be trained. I mean, that changes everything, doesn't it? It means your creative potential isn't some fixed thing. It means you can get better at it with practice, with tools, with just a little bit of intention. It puts the power right back in your hands. I gotta ask you, think about it for a second. After hearing this, where do you stand? Do you think it's something you're born with, or do you now believe it's something you can build? Because that shift in your mindset, that is the single biggest key to unlocking your own potential. All right, so if it's a skill we can build, then like any skill, it needs practice. And here's the good news. You don't need a special art studio or a fancy lab to practice. Your practice ground is all around you, every single day. If you're a student, just look around campus. How can you manage your study methods better? How do you solve that conflict brewing in your group project? How could you improve your club's next event or deal with the noise in the dorms? Or, hey, figure out how to reduce food waste in the cafeteria. These are all real, daily opportunities to practice creative problem solving. And this translates directly to the workplace. How can you improve customer service? Find a way to save time on some boring, repetitive task? Brainstorm new ideas for marketing content? Or come up with HR solutions that actually help teamwork?
Every single one of these is a chance to flex that creative muscle. This makes the connection so perfectly clear. Just think of campus life as a small-scale workplace. The skills are 100% transferable. Learning how to generate new ideas to solve a group project issue is the exact same skill you'll use to solve a team dynamic problem in your future job. So let's end with a challenge, a real call to action. Because it's not just about thinking of ideas anymore, right? We know the difference. Creativity is thinking it, innovation is making it happen. So what's one small, useful idea you can actually put into action this week? At school, at work, maybe just in your own life. That right there, that's your first step from being a creative thinker to becoming a true innovator.